EC Details and welcome back to another episode. In this video, we're doing a product overview of a brand out of California called Greyscale. You might have heard of them, but here we are. They are a company out of California. The owner is Ryan. They've been around for 2 years. The first time I saw this company is at SEMA. He gave me some bottles, and I'm gonna be honest, I owe you an apology, Ryan, because I left the bottles under the booth. It was the last day of SEMA, and Ryan, you had 5 days to come up to me, and you could have got me on day one where I was fresh, and I would took it to the room, I would have packed it, but you came the last day when we're over it. My fault, I apologize to you. So this is my redemption arc. With that said, these are my thoughts, my comments, and my own ideas of how I feel about this brand. And nope, not getting paid for it. So it's gonna be an honest review up front. And nope, we don't sell on Thor, so you can't say, well, he just glazes his own products. No, none of that. Let's get to the old way of testing. Here's what we're gonna be testing on this line. I have a nasty car in front of me. This car is disgusting. It is in for a ceramic coating, paint correction, things of that nature. It is dirty, has bird crap on it, and I'm gonna play these clips so you can see them, and it's just terrible. The car is not in good condition. Typically, what I would do with this vehicle is I would use a high pH soap. I would come in, knock it down, but he said, not me, Ryan said we could use some of his witchery to get it done. So here's what we're gonna do first.
Video is brought to you by Jobber. No, for real. Video is brought to you by Jobber. Down below, there's going to be a discount code for you to save some coin, but also try out the platform with no credit cards. That way you can see what I'm talking about. Jobber is a platform or CRM I have been using for over a year in my detailing business. My favorite part of about this app, and this is why I sing its accolades to the whole world, and I want you to know about it, is the hardest thing to do in detailing is get your money. So when you finish a job, usually customers are like, oh yeah, I'll get you, or you're feeling that awkward moment between the customer picking up and you're not getting paid. Jobber's made it easy. What Jobber does well is quote and invoice. It does it all on the app. It does it quick. It does it accurately. It ties it to your books. You could tie it to QuickBooks. It has all that you could do to integrate it, but also allows you to ask for tips more often. The cool thing about this is once you generate the invoice through Jobber, Jobber also allows you to send them a little link that says, please send me a review. The two hardest things to ask is for a review and for a tip. Jobber handles all that. All right, back to our show here. Enjoy.
Following products, and you can find these in links for below. They're going to take you to another website, and I don't have a coupon code for you, so find one. It's not, it is what it is. Wheel and tire cleaner, we're going to put that to the test. I would say this wheel and tire cleaner slaps. I did a first impression video months ago. This one, 1-to-1. If you buy it in the full 5 liter or whatever he has, it's a non-concentrate, so you could dilute it 1-to-4, 1-to-1, and then it slaps. The same thing with his iron. This is a wheel cleaner. It has degreasers in it. It turns color, and it doesn't smell as bad as most people on the market. And then at the end of that, we're gonna top the wheels, and this tire dressing slaps. So it's a conditioner sealant. Never heard of that before. That's what this, his words, not mine. We're gonna be using that one. And then for the paint itself, I need to get it to the point where I can actually start paint correcting, and we're gonna do it with a few products. First of all, he has 2 products here, and this is what I love about this brand so far is the back of the bottle has the pH, so you never have to ask for it. Has great instructions. It's a nice, elegant bottle. He has all the warning labels here, so he's not over here honeydeeing you. And then you have the scale right here where it tells you where it's at. He has a strip soap, which is acidic by nature, and I think this is a getting ready for a coating type of soap. And then he has pH neutral soap. Now, I did ask him, I said, how am I gonna do this car, bro? And he was like, trust me. He said, trust. He said, trust me. So we're going to test everything like I would test it. If you were here 3 years ago, I'm testing it like that. We're gonna test it on the tires. We're gonna test it to see how much this pH neutral soap actually strips. We're gonna see how it works in the bucket. We're gonna see how it foams. Now he taunted that, or he flaunted, was it a word? Whichever. He said that this could actually be used to sit on, it was created. He said it was created to sit on the panel, dwell as long as possible, and have the weight of shampoo, the surfactants, pull down all the dirt. And he said, you should see some bite. So I'm excited to see it. Let's get rolling. Let's get testing. This product is not fast changing like you would expect from other wheel and tire removers on the market. What you have to do is let it sit, let it dwell, let it eat. It turns red, not purple. It has degreasing properties, surfactants in it. It's a great wheel and tire cleaner. I mean, a great wheel cleaner, not tire cleaner, with iron removing. You can also use this on the paint, super slick. Then you have the wheel and tire. This is diluted 1-to-1. from their chemical line. When you buy the gallon, it's straight. You get a little 1-to-1, 10-to-1, 5-to-1, and this one hits hard. So let's do this. We'll let this sit and eat. I always go in raw because I want it to work and not have any help from any other sources. I like to get the barrels here, and that surfactant, you can tell right away it's working because it's like gel-like thick. You can see that? We'll let that eat. And then I'm telling you right now, I tested this wheel and tire system and I was impressed. And their tire thing hits it hits pretty hard, bro. Greyscale wheel and tire hits pretty hard. All right, I'm not glazing in. That's just my own thoughts and opinions. If you're asking what the pH is, easy. The back of the bottle tells you right here that the pH is a 12. This one's a pH of 6. All right, let's go in. You can see how it started eating already. I'm not even gonna spray any on the thing, and it just browns the mess out of tires. Looks like my skin color. Look at that. Look at that. Look how fast they interacted. And it does have a lot of surfactant in it, you can tell, because it just wants to stay up there and it just wants to eat. Look at that. Look at Dookie Brown. Insane, right? This is what I was telling people at the beginning. One thing that really impressed me was their wheel and tire cleaner combo. I thought it was a straight killer. While that's eating, I'm gonna do the face. And you can see how much foam it gives you with the Toco sprayers. And I'm only doing this because these are very nice rims and I wanna make sure I hit every spot because I'm gonna be coating this later. And you can just see all that. You see that? It's a bunch of surfactants. This thing foams up very nice. It's super slick on the thing. So far, based on my first or second impression of this, it's a straight killer. Come in, and there's barely any smell. And this is what I was telling you. It turns red in color, where most turn purple. So they're like other cleaners on the market that you probably know of that turn red. And it's very surfactant heavy too, has the greasing power. You can see it cleaning. And like I said, that smells negated. Does it smell as good as Yum? Nope, it does not. But it has no smell. It's better than smelling like poop. And you can see what I'm telling you. You see how it starts to turn color and it goes around. So we're gonna spray that off and see how I did. I would typically do one more pass with the wheel and tire just to make sure I got everything. We'll do this part here. And when it's white like that, you're good. I think I missed some spots. Look at that. Not as brown as it was before. I don't think these tires have ever been cleaned. They look pretty bad. I'm gonna be dressing this with a long-term dressing, so I wanna make sure that I clean the tire as good as possible. And no, I'm not chasing the brown stuff, but you can see how almost white it is after the first initial hit, and that's gonna be good enough for me. And again, this one, you can also use on the rim. So we're on the same page. Wheel and tire hitters. Start washing. Let's talk about their detail spray. I was told through a grapevine you can use this as a waterless wash. Make sure it's 10. If you use a 10 plus, it's gonna have protection. We're gonna test it on this dirty spot here. You can see that there's dirt on there, right? We're gonna do a spray. Now, any type of waterless, you wanna see how it cleans. Just put a couple sprays here, come in and roll. And let's buff that off. Bro, that did a crazy job. Was it slick? Let's find out. Let me do another test spot here. All right. Yeah, so you can absolutely use this for a quick wipe down, detail spray. Is it the slickest in the world? No, but it did do a nice job emulsifying and cleaning. But you can see the difference between this and this. So far, waterless wash, you can't use that. Just note, you're not gonna get the slickest, but the cool thing about this is it leaves zero protection. Let's foam on the car and let's see if it does damage. Typically, soaps come to Pocatello to die. Let me explain what I mean by that. I have such hard water that I can't get normal soaps to foam or pH or soaps to foam like they do in other environments. We'll take Picar for that example. Some of their stuff wasn't foaming here. Other people are getting tremendous foam. It's the nature of where I live. So we're actually gonna test this. Now, he did say that this has bite in it, that it does do a good job pulling it down. So we're gonna do one panel here. We're gonna foam it on. We're gonna see how much bite his pH soap has, and then we're gonna see if it actually stacks up to what he says. This is not by any means a scientific test. What this is going to see is how much bite this product actually has, because he says you will be shocked. So let's dilute it. The instructions very clear in the back says to dilute it 1 to 3 ounces. I have 50 mils here. I like the viscosity of the soap. It's not too thick. So you got 50 mils and it smells insane. Here, we're gonna put in almost a full foam cannon. Now this is the test I do with everyone soap. I'm gonna do this live so you don't think I'm over here honeydeeing you. And then we're gonna see what kind of foaming power we get. Using quiver, foam cannon. Let's roll here. 50 mils of soap typically do not foam in my environment. I don't care what you are, that just doesn't exist. My Lord. My Lord. My Lord. That's all I'm saying. So this is the thickness of the foam here that he's talking about. And you can see what it wants to do is pull the soap all the way down. So what he means by the heaviness of the surfactants is you want that to sit as long as possible, and it's doing a good job sitting. So it's not separating to the point where you can't use this outside, but it's just pulling. Look at it, doing its thing. We're gonna let that sit for as long as possible. We're gonna rinse off, and then we're gonna show you if this actually did clean any of the surface. Now, when the spots start to separate like that, I'm not ready yet. I'm gonna wait until most of the panel is exposed. And you can see it here. Again, this is about 2 minutes in. It does a great job clinging on the surface. Even thick soap. I use only 50 mils. Look at it. We're gonna rinse that off in a couple of seconds, and then we're gonna test the actual cleaning power of it. And so, just so you're not confused, this is what the panels look like. Okay, so there's actual dirt. There's bird scuffs everywhere. There's dirt all over. So I don't want you to think that this is a clean car, because by no means is this a clean car. Okay. All right, we're gonna rinse this off here. I let it sit for about 2 minutes. You could go a lot longer to get more of that cleaning power, just so you're aware. I actually have enough soap on here to allow this to sit way longer than this, but we're gonna test it. And the goal is to see how much did it actually clean off. That's the side we did without the pH juicer soap. This is this is the side we did with it. So does it have cleaning power? Yes. I'm not even gonna use the strip soap. I'll probably use the strip soap in the bucket wash, but for me, the cleaning power of this is pretty impressive. For a pH neutral soap, it's doing God's work. So I'm gonna foam the rest of the car on. We're gonna come back to the contact wash together, but 50 mils, 500 TDS, it foams, it cleans, it rinses off beautiful, and it does some work. Like there's still road film on here that I have to, do my work on, but still it's pretty impressive. Now, while we're waiting behind me and the car is we're using this as my pre-wash, let's talk about the scent. The scent is actually gorgeous. It smells fruity, but not too much. It's like a little aromatic, has a nice vibe to it. The actual soap on the panel is pretty impressive. This is like an active foam hidden in a pH 7 formula. It does a great job breaking down some road film. Now, did it get it all? No, just gonna be super transparent. But I can tell you that it did rinse off easy. It did take a lot of the dirt off, and I'm gonna feel confident while I sprayed off that we got the majority of things that we need to get off the surface in order to get to my next step. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna actually take the strip wash, which is acidic by nature, and I'm gonna actually use this inside of my bucket. Now it says this here, it says essentially 2 to 4 ounces in your foam canning as a pre-soak, or in your bucket for a contact wash from top to bottom and rinse. I want to get the surface as clean as possible, take off the inorganics. This is a pH of 3.5. So I'm gonna put about 3 ounces in my foam, in my bucket, just to get that going while we wait. And the whole goal about this is to see how slick the soap is, how does it work. Eddie, why aren't you using the same soap to do it? Because I gotta test the whole line, bro. Duh. All right, we're gonna rinse off the pH use with soap. Like I'm telling you, the rinse off is so easy, bro. All right, strip wash, diluted 3 to 4 ounces of foam canning. We're gonna see how this foams. So it's not a pH, I don't know why he called it a pre-wash, because it's not really a pre-wash, it's an acidic wash. So it's good for inorganics. I'm gonna do a contact wash on with this soap. And so I thought, like, it doesn't foam amazing. There's other acid soaps that foam good, but we'll do a test spot here as my bucket wash, and we'll see if it actually does anything and what the slickness is of the soap with and without soap on the panel. My worry about this soap is if I go in and I use this in direct sun and it dries, you're gonna be cooked, because there's not a lot of wetting. It doesn't feel like there's a lot on there for me to worry about it. When I think of Purifica, DMS, Reset from Yum, they to me do a better job foaming. Even our acid soap. It's just gotta be real. Just gotta keep it honest. All right, I got my wash media of choice. Let's go in and let's see. So it's not the slickest soap that I've ever used from an acid perspective. Even some of the other soaps that I've used, in my opinion, have been slicker on the surface as a wash. Now, do you ding it for that? That's a you question. But in the bucket itself, I'm gonna test it again on this panel with the soap on top of here. It wasn't the slickest. For me, I should have just stuck with the pH soap. Like right now, yeah, it's all right. I guess it'll do the job, but it's not, if you're looking for ultra slick soap like Reset or other acidic soaps, this is not gonna be it. There is some wetting and stuff. Let me try a clay towel to see how it works on a clay towel, because I was gonna clay this car anyway. Yeah, it's all right. It's nothing to write home about, for sure. I'm just being transparent here. But look, Greyscale, you can't have all hitters. No line has all hitters. It doesn't exist. Does it do a good job? Probably. Would I use it? I would up the slickness a tiny bit. I finished washing the car. Now we're gonna dry it. So this detail spray does not have any SiO2 in it, anything that will clog towels. And that way I'm safe to put it on the car as I dry. We're gonna go over slickness. We're gonna go over how it works to see if it adds any slickness. Yeah, it's not. So when I think of this product itself, it's not the slickest in the world comparing it to others that I love and adore, right? And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fanboy. I'm just telling you right now as it sits, it's not the slickest detailer I've ever used. Now, if I use something like Yum per se, and say I do this area here, I could just tell, like, even on a non-coated car, the slickness is about 40% better. So it's not the slickest. If that doesn't matter to you, it does have a pleasant scent. It does work well as a drying aid, just doesn't add any slickness that you would want. And like I said, I'm not trying to introduce more work for myself on this car, because I do have to ceramic coat it and paint correct it. So let's test it over here, just so you get a feel of what I'm talking about. And I usually, yeah, see the slickness is about, I said if I had to scale it 1 to 10, it's a 5 for me on how slick this is. I think I told him that once. But yeah, I'm gonna finish drying the car Is it a good detail spray if you need it for the one-offs? Yes. As a drying aid, I would want it to be slightly slicker. Again, my opinion, my thoughts, do whatever you want. The smell is very good. So that's just my hot take on this one. All right, their tire cleaner is a sealant and reconditioner. So you can use it as often as you want. It has reconditioning properties and it's super easy to apply. So we did clean it. You can see how clean the tire is just using his products. What I like to do is I like to spray on my brush, a few sprays, and I like to kind of massage it in. Remember, you're working with a sealant type ordeal here. Make sure the tire is actually kind of dry, and then do your job wiping it. It works with the brush. It works with an applicator. It doesn't smell bad. It doesn't smell real chemically, and it gives it a beautiful look. Now, when you need more, just hit more. There's another way of doing this as well, which I don't mind doing because I always do it this way, is some sealants don't like it when you spray on the tire itself. This one doesn't mind. This one doesn't care. It does a good job doing its thing, going all over. And actually the smell of the tire dressing is real good. And look at that. Look how easy that was. Again, this is a conditioner. You can let it sit, mat it down. My client likes it shiny, but this one right here, straight gas. All right, we finished washing the car. We cleaned it. We did everything we needed to do to get it ready for my polish step. There's a couple of products that I'm gonna just throw out there that I personally did not like. I personally felt like there were other better products on the market better than it, and I can't recommend it. But I hope, Ryan, when you see this, it's not a jab at you. I think you already agree with my assessment because you told me about your detail spray. As a waterless wash, I can see it. It's not super slick when it interacts with water. I don't know what it is about this, but when I spray on a panel with water, I feel like it gets a little grabby. I tested it against 4 other sealants, some that, you know, that don't have protection. It wasn't for me. I'm not a fan of this. The smell's sensational. If you could just increase slickness on a wet panel, that would be great. And then this one left me a little bit left some to be desired. This one is their acidic strip wash. For me, it's an acid wash. So do not use it outside. It does not foam very well. The slickness on contact wash was not as good as the majority of stuff on the market. And you're like, dang, he's harsh. No, I'm just being honest, bro. I told you I'll be honest. These are my review, my opinions, things of that nature. But pay attention because these 6 killers. These next ones, I full send. Take it to the moon, buy them wherever you can. I think they're very good products. And let's talk about, I would say the top 4 for me out of this line, just to get it out of the way. All right, these top 4 just slay, okay? First of all, number 1 on my list, his soap. This car was wrecked. His soap did God's work. Super slick, lubricious, foams so good. My water's high. It cleaned on a panel. This soap's a monster. Rinse off, sensational. Okay. Number 2 on this list has to be this combo. The wheel and tire cleaner is insane. It's insane. I mean, instant browning, cleans, foams. It's insane. And then their wheel cleaner here, which you call iron and wheel cleaner, it reminds me of some on the market. Like, I would say these can compete with any wheel and tire cleaner on the market, in my opinion. You do you if you don't believe me, but I'm telling you, just the cleaning, it's good. It's phenomenal. And then last on that list for me was the acrylic tire dressing. It hits. Easy for being a high, kind of like protectant tire dressing. The way it sits on the tire, the way it looks, the way it applied was phenomenal. I mean, I was super impressed by this tire dressing. How long does it last? No idea. No freaking idea. Honorable mentions here would be these 2. Interior detailer. I only say that because I've tested others that I like more, but this is insane. This smells good. It works good. It cleans. I think if you want to try and detail interior detail on the market that you feel like does work, this one is it. It smells insane. It's both men, women leaning, pretty great. And their glass cleaner. Oh my gosh, bro. Cleans and protects. Good job on making the line. I think Greyscale hits, like I said, those 6 that I mentioned. Don't even question it. Do you get them? Try them. They're real good. The other 2, skip them. That's all I'm saying. Oh, the other 2, just skip it. There's other better stuff on the market. I'm just being honest. With that said, I want to appreciate everyone for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Again, if you have any thoughts or comments, put them below. I'm interested to hear if you tried this brand or not. But he has some gems in his line, and some of them compete with the big dogs that claim to be the best wheel and tire cleaners on the market. His soap, nuts. I'm out.